Hello, my name is Anne and welcome to a Tobyknits Quilty Fun episode 26, which is all about the quilting. If you're new to my channel, then welcome, grab a cup of tea, sit down and stay till the end. I talk mostly about my three favorite crafts, which are knitting on Mondays, cross stitch on Wednesdays, and quilting on Fridays. It's not much knitting going on though this month as I've bumped up the cross stitch. But anyway, regardless of all that, today's about the quilting. And it's been a good week. Why has it been a good weekend, you say? Well, my friend Brenda came over on Tuesday because we were going to work on Bucru. So Fat Quarter Shop brings out this fabulous little Halloween quilt and cross stitch along every July. I did it last year. It was called Bats and Booze and it was really good. I enjoyed it immensely. And it was 4 blocks. Each week we got a block to do, but you had to make 4 of them or 3 of them or something like that. It was a repetitive block. This one, this mystery is not, as far as I could see, repetitive blocks. This is actually where you're putting blocks together to make things like this. Is this not the best thing ever? Okay, so my friend Brenda came over, as I was saying, because I was helping her to cut all of the fabrics that we both ordered the kits of. And I was just helping her cut and figuring out how to get the most out of your fabric. And so we cut, even though week 2 had been announced, I had waited for Brenda so that we could put these together. And so this is actually block 1. So here's one of them. And the other block is this. Oh. Is that not the best broom ever? I mean, look at it. Oh, doo, doo, doo. I could fly away on this, couldn't I? Yeah, no, I'm not a witch. Bob? So anyway, I love this. This is awesome. But this is going to be such a fun quilt because it's things. It's like hats and brooms. It's not just a block of, I don't know, a star or something. It's this, look. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I am loving the bats and, no, not Bats and Booze, the Boo Crew. And so I'm super excited. So after she left, after we'd both cut all of our fabric, I could not wait to put it together. So I said to her, sorry, Berger, I'm putting mine together. So anyway, I did. And then she came over to stay and she gave me this fabulous gift as a thank you. I'll have to show you that next week. I'm not showing it you today. But anyway, so I really am enjoying the Boo Crew a lot. And I'm hoping this weekend to get the other 2 blocks, which end up being 1 block, done. So I can show you next week. Yeah, you'll have to wait. So anyway, I really enjoyed doing that one. And you should see the cross stitch. Oh my God, the cross stitch is amazing too. Other thing I got done this week was Beautiful Day block 5, which is this one called Gather Around. And what this is Coriota from Coriander Quilts also puts out a free block of the month, but hers are like only 6 months. They don't go on forever. And in actual fact, I think the month 6, which comes out, I think it's tomorrow, shows us how to put the whole thing together. So really you get 5 5 months worth of blocks, and in each month we have to make 4 blocks. So by the time it's done, we've got 20 blocks, and the blocks are huge. They finish, I think, at 16.5 by 16.5. So here is the one block that I got done. It's not the best by any stretch of the imagination, because I've not really done an awful lot of, what do they call these? Hourglass. These are hourglass blocks here, which that one looks fine. That one looks fine. That one looks okay. Nah, this one's not so much. I think it should have been higher. Get out of the way. That one looks not bad. That one's a bit iffy. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're putting in the center her panel of Beautiful Day, and I am using her fabric, Beautiful Day fabric. And this actually goes together really quickly, because all you're doing is making these hourglass blocks and then putting a plain straight square in the top. So they do go quickly. So there is that one. Won't look that bad when it's all with the others and, you know, in the quilt. And then you quilt it, and no one's not going to actually notice how some of the points don't actually meet up. Oh dear. But anyway, I'm having fun making it. So the whole rest of it is cut. It took me one evening, I cut them all, one afternoon, sorry, I cut them all out, all my squares for all the blocks. And then I always put one together so that I can see before I do the other 3, because they're the same, just different fabric here. You know, so this way I know how I'm going to do it, and I have to really be careful of my piecing. So there's that. So I got that done. And then the other thing that I did this week is, do y'all remember, well, that didn't even sound like me, it sounded American. Do you all remember the unraveled quilt that I made for my daughter-in-law? And it was a sew sampler box. I believe it was the June 2021, maybe? I think so. And anyway, I made it, and I added an extra row because she wanted it bigger, and an extra border. So I've made it much bigger. Anyway, I got it all ready to quilt, but I didn't know how I wanted to quilt it. I just wasn't sure how I wanted to do, because now it's quite big to go under the sewing machine. I mean, I can quilt something like this quite happily on my sewing machine because it's only small, but this is now quite big. So I really wasn't sure, and I pieced it all together. I had it all basted, and the front and the back, and I just didn't know what to do. And then I thought, what if I tie it? I've never tied a quilt before. So I did. Well, I've started to. Look, I'm tying it. So I tied all in the middle there, and I have started up here. I wasn't gonna do ties here. I was gonna do a stitch. I was thinking of doing a cross stitch all the way, but when I tried one, it looked awful, and I couldn't get the thread right. This was too thick almost, and I thought, she's gonna catch the X's. She's gonna keep catching it, so I didn't think that would look right. And then I thought, well, I really didn't want to just leave it. So I decided to just tie the white and leave these as they are. So this is where I've got with it so far. So I have the other 2 sides of the white to do. The whole center's tied, and it took me about 3 hours tonight to do the center and 2 sides, tying them. And I'm using this, which is I dropped it, which is Pink Box Yarns, and it's a cotton DK. So it's nice through the needle, and it was easy to come through. I did do the center ties. I don't even know if you'll be able to notice the center ties here. I used a DK, and it was a little harder to get through than the ones here, which is exactly the same yarn. It's the same color, but this is like a DK as opposed to an Aran weight, which is a worsted weight. So a 4 to a 3. So I like this better. Anyway, I am super excited. Now there are several ways that you can do this tying business. Is you can sew the front and the back together. The backing and the top, you sew them together, right sides together, and you sew around 3 sides. Then you lay your batting on top and tack it around the edge. Then you turn the whole thing inside out, flip the sides in, and just sew along the one top, and then everything's now encased like a pillow, and then you do your tying through all 3 pieces. Or I didn't want to do that because I actually want to put a binding on this, so I laid them all out as if you would a regular quilt to be quilted, and I've done the ties. Then once it's done, I will trim all my edges to get all this stuff off. I'll trim right down, and then I will do the binding. So I might even get that done this weekend too. Ooh. It's so nice to get a quilt finished. Like, I have my dad's quilt to finish yet. I have to buy backing for that and finish it. I have the backing already that I have to sew for my Nova Scotia quilt that I made, but I am thinking of sending that one to a long armor. But now that I've done this tying thing, I don't know. It's really super quick. Anyway, we'll have to see how it works out, especially once it's gone through the washing machine and everything. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed watching this, and I hope you've enjoyed your cup of tea even more. So please come back next Friday for some more quilty fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell your mates. The more we get to watch, the better. Alrighty. See you soon. Bye.